Hello, Amy Wilkes here. So I have about a half-hour video for you today, and we are going to focus on the feet and the toes, toga, if you will, instead of yoga. So feet yoga. We walk around on our feet all day long, and we don't really give it a second thought unless we have an issue with our feet. So it's good to give your feet a little bit of love, a little bit of stretch. Let's get started. You will need, if you have a block, that's great. If you don't, it's fine. You don't need any equipment. You can modify. Definitely though, a ball would be useful. So a tune-up ball, a therapy ball, a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, really any kind of small ball that you have around the house would be great. And if you don't have a ball, if you have a tiny weight, a 1 or 2 pound weight, you can use that. At the end, we're going to stand and just massage the bottoms of our feet, and you can use a small weight for that. So let's get started in a seated pose. I'm just coming into a comfortable seat. And we're just going to breathe for a few moments here, settling the body, getting heavy on our mat, settling the hips down. You can bring your hands to your thighs, or you can bring your hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. And wherever you are, just go ahead and close your eyes and start to tune into your breath. Yeah, take some breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good, maybe 1 or 2 more like that. And as you breathe here, try to lengthen your inhales. Let your exhales get a little bit longer. Maybe even start to close your lips gently and let the air come in and out through your nose. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Notice the expansion of your belly as you breathe in. And then notice the contraction of your belly, your ribs, your chest as you exhale. Good, take 2 more rounds of breath on your own. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and crack your eyes open. So let's get started. We're just going to take the right foot and lift that up. So you can extend the left leg long, or you can keep it bent in. We're just going to manually rotate the ankles and the toes. So you're just going to grab a hold of your foot here, maybe one hand underneath on your shin, the other hand by your toes. And just take your hand here and just rotate your ankle. So we're looking for full range of motion. And we're using the hand here just to get a little bit of an extra stretch. So this is slow. Again, looking for that full range. So use your hand, really press in and then pull as the foot goes away from the ankle. Yeah, just maybe 2 more this way, and then we'll switch and go the other way. Good, go ahead and switch directions here, rotate. So when you have any kind of an imbalance between flexibility and stability in your feet, it can cause problems elsewhere in your body. So problems with feet can cause knee issues, right? Low back issues. So we want to make sure we keep the feet healthy, strong. Okay, go ahead and stop there. We're just going to manually rotate each of the toes. So starting with the big toe. And just take it and take your hand here and just circles with the toe. So this is something we normally don't do. It's a range that the toes don't normally go in, right? So we don't normally sit and circle toes. That's why it's good to have your hand there to help. Right, stretching out each toe, go the other way. You might feel a little bit of crackling in there, and that's perfectly normal. Good, 1 more circle with the big toe. And then let's make our way to the second toe. Same thing, and we're just circling. So however you want to hold on to your leg, whatever is comfortable for you. Try not to slouch in. Let's try to keep the spine nice and tall, pressing the sitting bones down. Always being aware of the body here, drawing the navel into spine, just helping to protect our back as we're seated. Go ahead and switch, go the other way with that second toe. Yeah, and then let's move on to the third toe. Just manipulating the toes here, making some circles, going both ways. Good, the fourth toe, moving on. So bending it forward and back, little circles there. Yeah, and then the baby toe last. Manipulating the toe. Good. Okay, take that right leg, extend it out long in front of you like a seated tree. Place your hands on the mat, just spider your hands here, fingertips still sitting up nice and tall. We're just gonna point and flex the right foot. So really exaggerating the point and the flex. Got two more, point and flex. Last one, point and flex. Maybe this time flex so much that your heel lifts off of the mat. And then release. We're gonna switch sides. So bend your right knee in, or you can leave the right leg long. We're gonna work on the left ankle and the left toes now. So holding on to that leg again, sitting up nice and tall. Take your hand to the bottom of your foot, and we're just working that ankle. Full range of motion. So press with your hand. Nothing should ever hurt here. So if you are feeling pain, please stop or just don't rotate quite so much. Good, let's take two more circles and then we'll switch. All right, other way. Nice and slow. Working that ankle. Good, last circle here. And then let's move on to the toes. So starting with the big toe. Holding on however feels comfortable. You can even rest your heel down on your mat or your other low leg. Whatever feels good here. And then start with the big toe, making circles. And then going the other way. You might notice some of your toes are a little stiffer than others. You might have one foot that is a little stiffer than the other. It's perfectly normal. Okay, let's move on to the second toe. Making little circles. I like to hold my leg up when I do this because I feel like then I'm able to relax my toes a little more. So if you find you're clenching the toes, just really relax and let them stretch. Switch, go the other direction with that second toe. And then let's move on, third toe. Making circles, maybe pressing forward and backward, right? Whatever you need to do here to stretch out the toes. Nice, let's go to the fourth toe. And the pinky toe, that baby toe, move it around. Some circles, pressing forward and back. Good, and then let that leg go long, coming into that seated tree. Hands up on fingertips, perching up, lengthening the spine. You can bend that left knee a little bit if that feels better. We're just pointing and flexing here. Point and flex. Nice and slow, point and flex. Two more, point and flex. If you can straighten into your left leg a little more, go ahead and do that. Point And flex. This time, hold the flex. Maybe lift the left heel off of the mat. Strong, strong flex. Feeling that in the quads. And then release that down. Very nice. Let's come into a tabletop. So hands and knees, spread your fingers wide. Your knees are directly under your hips. Your spine is nice and long, so reaching from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. A nice flat back. And then from here, just a couple of cat-cows to warm up our spines because it feels nice. So a cow pose, drop your belly, gaze goes forward. And then as you exhale, round your back for cat, drop your head. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Press the floor away. Good, 2 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last one, inhale. And this time, come back to your flat back. Right, bring your knees a little bit closer together. And then extend your right leg back. Just to hip height, flex your foot, toes are pointing down toward the mat. Now take a breath here, squeeze your glute to stabilize, lengthen your right leg, and then just drop your leg straight down, leaving it straight. Toes are flexed, you're pressing your toes into the mat. And then we're just shifting back a little bit here, stretching out the back of the right leg. Good. Stay here and breathe. Good. One more big breath. And then come back to tabletop. Bring your knees together. This time the left leg goes back. Flex your foot, toes pointing down towards your mat. Squeeze your glute and then square off your hips so we're not opening up here. Squeeze. Engage your belly. Good, take a big breath in, stretch your leg back a little bit further, engage all the muscles in your left leg, and then just drop your left toes to the mat, pressing back. Good. Getting into the calf, the back of your left leg. Good, stay here, take one more breath. And then bring your knees together. Okay, we are gonna make our way into toes pose. And we've already worked out the kinks in the toes. So this should not feel, it should feel better than it does sometimes when we go right into it cold. So take the toes and just turn them under. And then sit your hips back onto your heels. And this might be enough for you. If it is, stay here. And if you need a little more, go ahead and walk your hands back toward your knees. Maybe bringing your hands up to your thighs. This is gonna put more weight down on the heels. Yeah, and then if you're still not feeling a lot of sensation in your toes, you can lean your upper body back, but try to keep your spine tall. And if you find your baby toes are really tiny, you can manually take and just curl them under. Okay, close down your eyes here. Take a couple of deep breaths and just stay. So we're breathing through the discomfort here. Right, lots of discomfort, lots of sensation in the toes, but no pain. And if you need a break, you can come out of the pose, lean forward, uncurl your toes, take a breath or two there. Right, this is one of the best poses you can do for your toes. We're stretching out the bottoms of the feet. We're stretching out all the metatarsals and the toes. So just 2 more breaths here, just 2 more. You got this. Breathe. Nice, 1 more full breath in. Get even heavier as you exhale. Yeah, and then very slowly come forward. Place your hands on the mat. Very slowly uncurl your toes. And then tap the tops of your toes on the mat just to release all that tension in the toes. Beautiful. Now from here, go ahead and tuck your toes under again. Just pressing back to a downward facing dog, just one. Send your heels back. Doesn't matter if they touch or not. Spread your fingers wide. Bring your ears between your biceps and think about pressing your chest towards your thighs. You can always bend into your knees here. Right? Try to send your tailbone up a little bit higher. Good, now stay here, breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe drop your heels a little bit more towards the mat. One more breath. And then drop your heels as you exhale. All right, lift up high on your tippy toes with the breath in. And then drop your heels down as you exhale. Just two more like that. Breathe in, lift up high on toes. And then exhale, drop your heels. Maybe toes can lift off the mat just a little bit. One more, come up high on toes. And then heels drop down, lift your toes off the mat. Good, and then walk your feet out really wide. So as wide as your mat, bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet for a ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows, and then let your head hang heavy, let your chest fall towards your lap, bend your knees. You can add some movement here, side to side or front to back. You can shake out your neck a little bit. This should feel really nice on your lower back. And then release your fingertips to the mat. Heel toe your feet so they're underneath of your hips. And then roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze your belly. This is slow. Keep going. Slow, slow, slow. Let your shoulders hang. Let your head hang. And then you get up to the top. Bring your shoulder blades up, back, and down. One more like that, big circle with the shoulders. Yeah, and then work the shoulders forward. So up, back, and around to the front. Lift them up and then bring them to the front. Now up to the ears, inhale. As you exhale, drop your shoulders down. Bring your hands down to your sides for mountain pose. Palms are facing the front of your mat. Nice, breathe in. And as you exhale, spread your toes. Feel really rooted and grounded into your mat. Inhale here. Close your lips, exhale through your nose. Nice, one more like that. Nice big in. Exhale, squeeze your belly. Nice. We're just going to do one standing balancing pose. If you have a block or a book that's pretty stable, you can balance on the block or a book. Right? So you're just going to take your right foot, and you don't have to do this. You can do tree pose without the balance part. So what we're looking to do is we're looking just to destabilize the standing foot, right? So then the low leg has to stabilize and work to balance the body a little bit more. So with or without the block, right foot on the mat or right foot up on the block. And then for tree pose, you can leave your left toes right on the mat and just open up your knee. We're rotating from the hip. And if you need a little more, you can bring that foot right up to the block or right up to your ankle, right? Or the sole of your foot can slide right up to your low leg. Right? Bring your hands to your heart center. And then notice if you're extending your right hip out. We want to hug the right hip in, press the right foot down, and then we're going to actively press our palms together here. So press, press, press. Elbows are out wide. And then wherever your foot is, your left foot, press it in to your standing leg. If it's on your standing leg, and if it's on the mat, you can just press your toes into the mat. Maybe press your heel into your low leg. So we're just looking for contraction, squeezing towards the midline of the body, holding here for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, a little wobbling is normal, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. You can always come near a wall too and have one hand on the wall if you need to stabilize there. And let's go to the other side. So left foot on a block or a book. You can leave it right on the mat. Right toes can stay on the mat, or you can slide your foot, the sole of your foot, up to your low leg. Right, and always, if you need more, the foot can come all the way up to the inner thigh. Find a spot on the floor or the wall, something to focus on, your drishti, your gaze. And then again, squeezing towards the midline. Noticing any wobbling, that's the body trying to stabilize. Press your palms together here. You're gonna feel your chest, the muscles in your chest light up. Good, so just squeezing, hugging the left hip in, squeezing the left glute. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and come off of the block, come out of the pose. You move the block out of the way. And then grab a hold of either your ball or your tiny weight. And again, you can go towards a wall or have your hand on a chair. And we are just going to take the ball and place our right foot on top of the ball. So you want to place the ball right about the middle of the foot. Hands can come to your hips. And we're just going to roll the ball back and forth. It's a tiny movement. It's maybe a ½ inch or an inch. And play around with how much weight you can press on to your foot onto the ball. Right, so you don't want to hurt your foot, but you definitely want to feel some sensation here. So we're just rolling back and forth. It's tiny. And then go ahead and start to make that movement a little bigger. So roll the ball towards that mound behind your big toe, and then press it back towards your heel. Good, keep going. This is slow, back and forth towards the toes, and then press the ball back towards your heel. Good, so keep going there. So these balls are great for releasing the fascia, myofascial release, self-release here, self-massage. All right, so let's make our way to the outer, the pinky side of our foot. And then just start to roll the ball back and forth on that outside. So you're coming from the space right behind your pinky toe and then rolling it back all the way towards the right side of your heel. Yeah, so keep going, press down. You want to feel that sensation. So add some pressure if you're not really feeling that. Good, let's do that one more time, back and forth. And then let's bring the ball to the other side, so the big toe side. So starting with that mound behind the big toe, now you're pressing on the inside of the foot all the way back to the inside of the heel. The left side of the right heel. Good, so keep going there. Keep breathing, right? Keep lengthening your spine. Draw your navel in, stabilizing the body. Good, let's do one more. And then from here, let's make circles. So let's go all the way to the heel. And then we're going to come up the right side of the foot all the way up toward the pinky toe. And then we're going to roll the ball across right below the toes over to the great toe, and then back along the left side of the right foot back to the heel. So a circle. Let's do that one more time that way. Good, and then come all the way back. And then let's go the opposite way. So coming up towards the big toe, across to the pinky, down towards the heel, and then across to the other side of the heel. One more. Good, press, press, press. And then down to the heel. Very good. Go ahead and step off. You might have a little fatigue in the left leg here, so just shake that out. All right, you should notice a difference between the right foot and the left. So we're gonna do the same thing, other side. Let's start by placing the ball right in the arch of the left foot. And then go ahead and roll the ball forward and backward. This tiny movement, keep it slow. Press down so you can really feel that. Yeah, and then let's start to make that movement a little bigger. So rolling the ball back toward the heel, and then up through the middle of the foot, all the way up to that space right behind the toes. Keep going there. Good, keep going right through the middle. And then we have one more. One more time, go back, and then come back up. Now we're gonna move the ball to the outside edge, the pinky side, the left side of your foot. And then we're just gonna roll the ball all the way back down toward your heel, the left side of your heel. Press down, good, and then bring the ball back up towards your pinky toe. And then roll it back down, keeping it on that left side of the left foot. Good, two more. Make this slow. Good, and the last one. Roll it out. All right, ball comes to the other side. So now we're coming on the inside of the left foot, rolling it up towards the big toe. And then press down, roll it back towards the right side of your left heel. Keep going here. We have a couple more. Good, two more times. Noticing maybe a little fatigue in the right leg. Totally normal. Last one. Good. Okay, now we have those circles. So it doesn't matter which way you go. We're going to switch. So working the outside edge of the bottom of your foot all the way down to the heel. Coming to the outside edge, coming maybe up to the great toe. Spinning the ball over to the pinky side. And then down the outside of your foot. Good, we have two more this way. Yeah, and then the last one, big circle. Good, now we have three the other way. Rolling that ball, really putting pressure. Right, so you should really feel this. Notice the sensations. Notice the discomfort. All right, we have one more circle this way. Good. All right. Release. Shake that out. And this is a little hamstring stretch. So stretch your right leg out in front. Sit your hips back. Maybe stretching out the right hip. And then switch other side, stretching out the hamstring, the left hip. Good. We just have one more thing to do, and then we'll come down to our mats, finish up with some stretching. Take a breath in, sweep your arms up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, sit back in a chair pose. So toes are nice and light. Weight is heavy in the heels. We're just gonna move this with our breath. So we're gonna inhale, stand up, maybe come up on toes, and again, a chair or a wall. As you exhale, sink your hips down, bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in, stand up, reach up, come up high on toes. And then exhale, sink your heels down, bring your hips down, hands to heart. Just two more, reach up, stretch up, come a little higher on toes. And then exhale, sink down. Last one, reach up, stand up, stretch. Exhale, sink down. Good, now this time just come up, leave your heels on the mat, stretch, maybe a little bit of a back bend. And then hands to heart center, exhale. Beautiful, let's come down to the mat. Just gonna finish up here with some twisting. So go ahead and lay flat on your back. Actually, before we do that, let's let the feet get really wide on our mat. And then bend your knees, so knees are facing up towards the ceiling. And then just go ahead and lift your hips up just a little bit of a baby bridge here. And then settle your spine on the mat, starting with your upper back. So curl your tailbone under, release one vertebrae at a time. And then your tailbone is the very last thing to hit. Keep your feet wide. Bring your arms into goal post. And then just let both of your knees fall over to the right side. Your gaze can be straight up to your ceiling, or you can look over to your left elbow. Nice stretch from the waistline, nice twist. Good, come back up to center. Again, a little bit of a baby bridge, so lift, press your shoulder blades down, squeeze your glutes, and then very slowly release your back to the mat, starting with your upper back. So keep your tailbone curled under, very slowly release. Think of laying a train track down, and then your tailbone is the very last thing to hit. Good, now let both of your knees go to the left. Gaze is straight up or over to the right. Try to release any tension in your legs. Just breathe here, nice and easy. And then come on back up to center, happy baby. Bring your knees in towards your armpits. You can grab onto the backs of your thighs. You can grab onto your low leg, or if you can reach your feet or your toes, go ahead and grab there. And we're just pulling down with our hands. At the same time, think about pressing up with your feet. Flex your toes, flex your feet. Press your low back into the mat. Yeah, and then you can add a little side to side here. It feels good on the lower back, just a little massage. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. All right, so you can roll onto your side or you can rock up to a seat. We'll meet there. I'm just coming into an easy seated pose, right back where we started. Let your hips get heavy on your mat. Bring your palms together at your heart. Let's take a breath in together. Open your mouth, exhale. Again, breathe in, feel your belly expand. Exhale, open your mouth. Last one, biggest breath yet. Hold it at the top, hold. Open your mouth, let the air out. Bring your thumbs to the middle of your forehead. Thank you for practicing with me today. The light in me is grateful for the light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, guys.